Hello again, people. It's episode 95 of Find Music. This is the one you've been waiting for, the return of Jim Babwe's virtual playlist, which goes anywhere it wants to. Today, it's number 11. Go ahead, Jim.
Hey, thanks, Don. Today we're going to talk about Captain Beefheart, also known as Don Van Vliet or Don Vliet, among other things. I got really interested in Captain Beefheart in about 1975 after he had been recording for a number of years. The first song I remember hearing from him was Electricity, and then Abba Zaba. I think that was the name of one of his songs. Just kind of really discordant, out of the box, kind of way out of the box, discordant, not exactly commercial. And I think that my interest in Frank Zappa led me to Beefheart and got to see them play a concert at Claremont Little Bridges Auditorium in 1975 when Zappa launched his Bongo Fury tour. Carolina Hardcore Ecstasy, She's 200 Years Old, Poofter Froth's Wyoming, Plans Ahead. Those are some of the song titles off of that album. And one of the interesting things about seeing a concert at the Little Bridges Auditorium in Claremont is it's a small venue with great sound. Every seat in the house is a great seat. If you get a chance to go there, see a concert. About halfway through the concert, if I remember correctly, Captain Beefheart was done with the music part, and he set up an easel on the stage and then painted during the rest of the show. So if you look at the playlist, you'll see pretty obvious that I didn't stick to any kind of chronological order here. But I think what I've done is created a pretty representative mix between the things that were commercial, sort of commercial, a little bit more accessible, and the things that weren't. I'm Gonna Booglerize You Baby, is a great blues number with Beefheart playing on the harmonica. Electricity is one of the earliest of his recorded songs. It features the theremin, the only musical instrument that you don't touch to play. Proximity of the hands and elevation changes the synthesizer tone and stuff. I've always wanted one, primarily to annoy as many neighbors as possible. If you look at the list here, Harry Irene, his stuff ranges from whimsical and silly to just kind of weird and almost commercial. I don't remember. Do you remember if Dr. Demento played any of his songs? I don't remember hearing him on Dr. Demento. But I do remember a really, really interesting interview on the David Letterman show in 1982, I believe. I included a link in the chat room feature of Zoom. So if you want to see a real interesting interview between a former comedian, sitting talk show host, and who seems to be a little bit flustered with his ability or inability to communicate with somebody who might not have been in the ideal kind of mental state to communicate with another human being. That's a great interview with a good insight into Captain Beefheart's persona. Big Eyed Beans from Venus on the virtual playlist is, I would have to say, it's just an experiment with language and sound, pretty interesting to me. Not for everybody, I'm sure. It's not something that I would bring to my granddaughter's birthday party to play when she's 32. It's just a little crazy. So Captain Beefheart, one of my favorites, and that's the name of that tune.
Big Eyed Beans from Venus. There's a song you can sink your teeth into.
A&M sessions, is that his earliest recordings or after Warner Brothers?
Oh man, I'm not sure. The Safest Milk 1967 was the earliest one I found.
Yeah, I remember that. I had that album.
You have that album? Nice. But it's not something that you listen to every day, is it?
Yeah, I'll have to look up those A&M sessions.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, they're good. Diddy What Diddy's a great song. His version of that song is awesome. You know,
Yeah.
his vocal range is absolutely tremendous. You know, very low lows and very high highs. Pretty talented. He also made claims that he had never been to school, that his, parents raised him in a remote desert location in a mobile home. And, it's difficult to separate fiction from nonfiction when you're talking about Don Van Vliet, Captain Beefheart, but very widely respected and adored by, a group of people who just got him, or wanted to get him.
And if you want to get them, go to virtual playlist number 11 from Recursive Multimedia.
Yep.
/virtualplaylist.com. You can catch all of Jim's virtual playlists, and you can even add to these lists. Is that true?
You can send me an email and I'll add to the playlist. Yeah. There's a link on the webpage, on the website.
All right. All right, so let's take away that screen share so we can thank you full size.
Stop share. There we go.
Ta-da! There's
And
the
I don't know if
man.
you can see it in the chat feature, but there's a link to the David Letterman interview with Captain Beefheart, the 1982 interview. It's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's on YouTube.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, easy to find. Well, thank you, Jim. That's episode 95, Captain Beefheart. And you had something interesting at the top of the list. I forgot to talk about it. You were saying something, El Capitán de Beef Corazón.
Oh, that's just a very loose translation of Captain Beefheart.
Oh, okay, there we go. Answered that one. Thank you,
I didn't
Jim.
use the word vaca, corazón de vaca,
The cow.
cow that's not the same as beef, so.
Again.